The first is something that's written in the Diagnostic Statistical Manual, which is that personality disorders are enduring and flexible and pervasive. We now know from longitudinal studies that this is actually not true. People in their adolescence especially will move in and out of meeting criteria for this diagnosis because personality functioning is highly malleable in the earlier phases of life and solidify and change over time in adaptation to one's life experience. Some personality features are more enduring than others, but the ones that we know remit quickly and are highly context dependent and changeable are those that are associated with BPD. The second myth is that BPD patients only improve if they're given extended intensive expert treatments like dialectical behavioral therapy or mentalization-based treatment. And that's also not shown to be true, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. These treatments are only going to be required for a subsample of patients, especially if we intervene early. Whoops. There's another myth that all teenagers are a bit borderline. And while it's true that BPD symptoms normatively increase during adolescence and then decline, there are a population of teens that are more severe in their traits, and they can be identified early. Those individuals tend to stay at high levels of BPD symptoms and continue to maintain that level of symptomatology over the course of their development, while their peers will increase in those symptoms and then remit as they grow up and mature. The fourth myth is that BPD is a product of abuse and maltreatment. There are high rates of trauma among those who have BPD, and this is a complicated issue. BPD results from an interaction between temperamental and neurobiological endowments in children and the caretaking environment with which they interact. So if you think about it like economics, demand and supply cross, determining the price. So if the demands or challenges on an individual exceed the supply of support, the price will be higher to that individual, and they'll show more distress, difficulty, and challenges coping. And for each individual, this equation is different. And you can find out what it means if you don't enter the clinical scenario with an assumption that the person has been abused. The fifth myth is that BPD patients resist treatment and angrily attack their treaters. While it is true that patients with BPD may be quite expressive of their distress and express anger intensely, that's a symptom of the disorder. And we try to teach people that it's not just what you're doing that determines this outcome. This is a serious misunderstanding, and because these patients are more emotionally and interpersonally sensitive, their strong reactions are oftentimes interpreted as someone doing something wrong to them. And that may not be the case. The sixth myth is that recurrent risk of suicide burdens treaters with excessive responsibility and ongoing risk of litigation. We worry about this a lot in the US. But the truth is, if you have a reasonable, informed, structured, and systematic approach to taking care of patients, just like if you were an oncologist, a dermatologist, or any sort of medical professional, if you follow the standards of practice, then you can actually justify your decision-making over time. If you don't centralize the diagnosis, it's much harder to do so. So the risk of litigation is often a burden of a failing treatment and a worried clinician. And there are ways in which you can support your work by having some set or structured framework from which you operate. These days, there's a lot of controversy in the field about how to diagnose BPD. So there's the model that is the traditional model of categorical diagnosis. I think this comes from the medical discipline.